Today's message: people that cheat the process, they hate people that went through it. People that kiss ass for validation also hate those that built their self-worth without the need for outside validation. Welcome back, all my free thinkers, to another episode of Grow Rich, Grow Happy, that place where we follow the breadcrumbs of wealth. And guys, we're going to talk about the crypto market. Now, I like to go through the market every day. I like to go through, see what's going on. And something hit me. You know, I'm always looking for the puppet strings. What is the media telling the sheep to do today? And everywhere I looked, there was a storm of negative news on the crypto market. We're going to look at that, but then we're going to look at something else, because what we're going to look at that somebody said about Bitcoin and just crypto in general, they made this broad statement. I guarantee it's people in your life right now that's doing the same thing with crypto. This is why you have to watch your circle. So we're going to talk about that, and I'm going to give you something to think about as we continue our journey to that financial freedom, to that generational type wealth. And let me tell you something, guys. You're going to have to, especially in this market, you're going to have to want success in crypto and financial freedom, all of that. If you don't want it more than you want air to breathe, then you really need to reevaluate and look at your circle and see who is not on your same level. And then you have to move them out the way. So that's what we're going to talk about, guys. Make sure you look down below. Check out all of the deals that are down there, all of the freebies. Swing over to growrichgrowhappy.com. Check out all the things I have over there for you as well. Get you a cold storage wallet down below. 10% deal on Tangent wallets. That 10% does go to support the channel, but make sure you smash that like button. Give me a sub. Hit that bell notification so that you don't miss any of these videos. And now we're going to jump over here. And the first thing I want to show you is the market, because right now, well, not the market, I'm gonna show you something else, but right now the fear and greed is at a 16, guys, a 16. People are running scared, but this is the time when millionaires are made. This is the time when the transition into your next better life gets started. So let's jump over here and let's take care of this. Okay, guys, so I'm over on Bloomberg today and I'm just perusing everything. Look at this. Crypto's riskiest tokens plummet to pandemic era levels. Crypto's MAGA bubble floats toward a Mandana pin. I think I pronounced that wrong, but anyway, crypto bear market wipes out almost entire 2025 value gain. Bitcoin crash of 2025. Trump's crypto ties to Middle East, Bloomberg crypto, all of this, riskiest tokens. You go down, yada, yada, yada. There's a lot going on, right? But it makes me look at this and say, okay, if the market is already going down, and you continue to post stuff like this, what are you going to do? You're going to drag it down even further. So I thought about it and I said, if we didn't have a lot of this going on, because it was already going down, you had these major sell-offs, but if the media didn't bombard you with stuff like this and continue to say it's going down, feeding this to the public, a lot of the shakier investors, not those here on Grow Rich, Grow Happy, we are the free thinkers. We think outside the box, right? We stand out from the pack. So if they wasn't what they're doing when they do this, you have the shakier investors, those that just got into crypto. Many of you probably on this channel, you're like, I'm not going to buy anymore. Maybe, you know, Christmas coming up. Maybe I need to sell some so I can get some Christmas gifts, things like that. Those are the ones that disinfect. You see this enough. That's what happens. I once had a job that all I felt was negativity coming through the door constantly, every single day. And I'm a positive person, but even it got on me at one point. I said, it's time to walk away. You have to be able to walk away. Know yourself enough to know you need to separate yourself from the negativity before it infects you and drags you down. So that's what's happening here. So I look at that. Then I'm going to go over here because there's a positive side to this too. We're going to flip it at the end. But I want you to hear this guy right here. Right here. Dan Penna. I think that's right, Penna. But anyway, he's a successful entrepreneur. Many of you know this guy. He's a motivational speaker. I actually like him. I like his methods. He's very aggressive. So if you don't have that tough skin, you don't have that, you probably couldn't deal with him because he's not going to sugarcoat things. I'm that type of person with my associates, friends, whatever. I'm going to rip the Band-Aid off. Don't ask me for advice if you don't want to hear it. But I do it out of love. And I'm not going to lie to you. This is how I try to run this channel. I'm always going to give it to you straight, guys. So we're going to listen to what he says about Bitcoin. It's 1 minute, but then we're going to talk about it.
The only thing that I've seen from you that has not, really panned out is the old Bitcoin statement.
I still don't believe in Bitcoin, but as Jamie Dimon said a couple of years, not just to me, to the shareholders, if my customers want me to make a market, I'll make a market. If you think it's going to replace the dollar as the main currency, if you think it's going to be like the national bank, that's just not going to happen.
But it's happening.
No, it's not. So it has $2 trillion in value, whatever the value is. But if you think that the Ford Foundation, the Rocket Foundation, the Federal Bank Reserve,
they're all buying it.
They're 1%.
Well, why would they want any if it's going to be valueless?
Because it's an embarrassment clause. Just in case it goes to $1 trillion, they participated. It's just so they're not totally embarrassed.
Okay. Listen to that. So it's a lot of people in your own lives right now that think the same thing. Hell, my parents think the same thing. Funny money, all of that. When we study actually the market, guys, this is what we do. I tell people this is what I do every day, 7 days a week. I may not be on here, but I'm still doing something crypto wise outside of this particular channel. But I look at it and I say, why would they need that kind of clause? Why do you need a clause for something that they say is a ish? It's not going anywhere. So they got in. We see it. All of the major banks and everybody is getting in because one thing he does have right is the people move it. The people are going to move it. And you see that they're doing just that. But if you look at him, he also said, I'll play that for you another time. He also said if America or the people who invest in Bitcoin knew who actually created Bitcoin, knew the person who actually brought it into existence. I know that's the same thing as create, but the person behind it, just the overall person who created it. There's, Satoshi Nakamoto. Some people say the people from Ripple. It's a lot of things that floats around out there. Some people say the CIA. I'm not going to pretend like I know, but he said, if you knew the person behind it, every Bitcoin would go to zero because everyone would sell it. Zero. Now, I don't believe that because, again, people are always going to gravitate to something that makes money. I do agree with the fact that he says that people like Jamie Dimon, BlackRock, and all of them, they're getting in because their customers want it. You got to remember, these people was not on board with it. Trump wasn't even on board with it. And look at it now. All of his wealth really is tied up. He's made more in crypto than anything else. His crypto portfolio outweighs anything else. So is it that type of asset? Is it a ish asset? Is it going to replace the dollar? I'm not going to say it's going to replace the dollar, but I see it moving over. That's why you have the digital dollar. We're going to take a look at that as well. Guys, drop down below and let me know, what do you think of his statements? And I always say sometimes age plays a factor too. He's been around a lot longer than many of us. But hey, it is what it is. We're going to continue down because a lot of people, not a lot, most people are really attacking this brother on here or Dan on here big time. But if you go down here, I liked on one because I actually like this. He says, yeah, I kind of get what he's saying because elites hedge everything. Yes, they do. They act like they don't care, but they always ensure potential upside. I've seen this mindset before when they quietly loaded earlier tech plays. Bitcoin becoming their embarrassment clause just proves conviction spreads upward fast. Hence, they wasn't even thinking about it back in 2020, 2021. And now look at it. The BlackRock, all of them are snatching up as much as they can while they sold the public a load of crap. He says, I'm stacking anyway because billionaires panic by later every cycle. That right there, guys, that is a free thinker. And this is what I promote on this channel. Become a free thinker. So think for yourself. You hear this, just because he's a well-respected person doesn't mean he knows a hell of beans. Doesn't mean that. I don't look up to anyone like that except God. No one. Because I know they can be wrong. So we go over here and look at this, guys. Crypto winter ahead. 5 experts say no. Here's why. I've been saying no too. My name should be on the list. Not that I'm saying I'm an expert. But anyway, worried about crypto winter. These 5 experts tell us why Bitcoin could be primed to make a comeback. Now, I'm going to drop this below because I'm only going to look down here and I'm going to show you guys 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the guys here. There's actually 5 of them. But the one I want to pay attention to is the first one. He says, compared with previous bear markets, the industry has gone through severe deleveraging and liquidations, but it has not experienced an FTX-like seismic crisis. Here we go, right here. At the same time, we are seeing continued progress in asset tokenization, stable coins, and regulation, all moving in a direction that is broadly favorable for the industry. Again, we do not have the same bull market that we had in the past. Hence, we're not going to have the same bear market. Maybe you guys, maybe people need to listen to an expert, whatever makes them an expert. I never categorize people like that, but they're saying it right there. I've said it. I continue to say it. The people who dictate this now are the policymakers and the major institutions. That is what's dictating where we're going to go with crypto and why we're not going to get the same bear market. I'm just not going to go with the crowd. I don't believe it. So we're going to jump back over here because I do want to talk about one last thing. And that last thing is, I also read that some mega genius, when it comes to him being just super smart, accordingly, I seen an article where he says that we're going to get a $200,000 Bitcoin price by the end of this year or early next year. But I think he said before the end of this year. I said, wow. And it's floating all around. Now, I'm not going to say that, but I'm saying it's a handful of people that do not believe we're going into a crypto winter. And I'm one of them. I am one of those people who don't believe it's going to be like that. And I'm going to stand on that. But you guys let me know, what do you think of all of this negative news? Do you think that is a big contributing factor to why the crypto market continues to fall? Because weak hands are holding. And then when you take that and you hold it up to all of this negative news that's everywhere, everybody's being bombarded, not to mention you opening your wallet, you're seeing drastic lows. It just makes people sell. Let me know down below your thoughts, guys, and what kind of circle of influence do you have around you? This your boy. I'm out.
My heart